Whoever said it's better to give than to receive probably never found themselves exhausted from constantly pouring into others without receiving anything in return. I've been there, giving my time, energy, and resources only to feel overlooked and underappreciated. It's a tough spot, one that many of us have faced, especially if you're trying to live by Stoic principles in a world that often confuses kindness with weakness. Today, we're going to explore how to offer your compassion wisely and protect your peace. Drawing on some timeless Stoic wisdom, we'll uncover why setting boundaries isn't just smart. It's necessary to preserve both your dignity and your sanity. So, if you've ever felt like your kindness is being taken for granted, stick around. This discussion might just change the way you interact with the world around you. Navigating the tightrope between being compassionate and maintaining self-respect can feel like one of life's great juggling acts. It's all about giving to others without losing yourself in the process. But how do we strike this delicate balance? It's not about withholding kindness or compassion. It's about ensuring that our generosity does not deplete our own resources, emotional, physical, or otherwise. Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of time, offers a profound understanding of why self-respect is not just beneficial, but necessary when practicing compassion. The Stoics teach us the importance of knowing ourselves and recognizing what we can and cannot control. In the context of kindness, this means understanding our limits and boundaries. Marcus Aurelius, a famed Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of acting according to our own nature while respecting our capacity to give. This can be challenging, especially when society often values self-sacrifice as a measure of goodness. But Stoicism suggests a different measure, acting with wisdom. It's about giving not until it hurts, but until it's enough. Enough for the situation, enough for the person in need, and enough according to what our own resources allow. When we talk about resources, I'm not just referring to material things. Emotional and mental resources are just as critical. Have you ever felt drained after a day of helping others, almost as if you've given all of yourself away? That's a sign that your kindness might be unbalanced. To prevent this, we should consider setting clear boundaries. These aren't barriers to keep people out, but guidelines that help us interact with others respectfully and sustainably. It's okay to say no, or to tell someone, "I can help you with this, but not that." This not only protects our well-being, but also teaches others how to treat us with the respect we deserve. Furthermore, self-respect in Stoicism isn't about ego or pride. It's about self-awareness and living in harmony with our virtues. If kindness is one of your virtues, you must practice it in a way that aligns with your other virtues like wisdom and moderation. Stoic kindness isn't a floodgate open to everyone at all times. It's a well-measured stream directed where it can do real good and where it doesn't erode the riverbanks. Think of it this way. When you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. Life is much the same. You can't effectively help others if you're gasping for air yourself. Acting with kindness also involves understanding and empathy, not just for others, but for yourself. When you feel the urge to help or give, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you in a position to offer help without harming your own well-being? Are your acts of kindness coming from a place of genuine care? Or are they attempts to seek approval or avoid confrontation? These are tough questions, but essential ones. They help us refine our intentions and ensure our actions are genuinely virtuous, not just superficially generous. By maintaining a balance between compassion and self-respect, we build a kind of kindness that is sustainable and impactful. This approach not only helps us live according to Stoic principles, but also enriches our interactions with others. It fosters relationships based on mutual respect and genuine care, rather than expectation and dependency. So next time you extend a hand to help, remember to keep the other hand on your own heart, ensuring it stays full and strong. In doing so, your capacity to give will not just be preserved, but will grow, making every act of kindness you perform that much more powerful. It's a common misconception that setting boundaries means you're shutting people out. But let's flip that idea on its head. Think of boundaries as the guidelines you draw around a treasure map. They guide everyone to respect the treasure, your energy, time, and emotions, without exploiting it. Setting healthy boundaries is not just a self-care act, but a crucial component of living a Stoic life marked by wisdom and moderation. The Stoics were all about living in alignment with nature, our true nature. Part of understanding our nature involves recognizing our limits and communicating them clearly. Seneca, one of the most respected Stoic thinkers, often talked about the importance of guarding one's time against unnecessary intrusions, akin to how we might protect our property. This isn't about being stingy with your time or yourself. It's about ensuring that you're investing it wisely in ways that are congruent with your values and capabilities. When we fail to set boundaries, we often end up feeling overwhelmed and resentful, emotions that Stoics strive to manage through rational thought and self-awareness. Imagine you're a pitcher full of water. Each task or favor you perform for someone else pours some of your water into their glass. If you pour out too much without refilling, you'll end up empty. Healthy boundaries ensure that you refill your pitcher by saying no when necessary, by allocating time for rest and rejuvenation, and by choosing engagements that align with your values. Here's a practical way to start setting those boundaries. Begin with small, non-confrontational boundaries that feel more like self-promises. For example, decide that you won't check emails after 8 p.m. so you can have time to unwind and focus on personal growth or relaxation. Communicate this to others with clarity and firmness. You might say, "I've found that I'm more effective when I give myself time to disconnect in the evenings. I'll respond to emails during my designated working hours." This simple boundary can help manage expectations and create a routine that honors your need for downtime. Furthermore, boundaries can help us handle interpersonal relationships more effectively. Stoicism teaches us not to be disturbed by external opinions or behaviors, but rather to focus on our own actions and reactions. By setting boundaries, we actively choose our reactions and maintain our tranquility. For instance, if someone has a habit of making unreasonable demands, a Stoic approach would be to calmly explain your limits. "I understand your needs, but I can only assist within these specific parameters. Let's find a solution that works within both our limits." This approach doesn't just apply to personal life. It's equally relevant in professional settings. Setting boundaries at work, like defining clear work hours or tasks, can prevent burnout and foster a healthier work environment. It also sets a professional tone, showing that you respect yourself and your work enough to guard your time and efforts, which in turn encourages others to respect them as well. Remember, setting boundaries is not a one-off task. It's a continuous process that involves checking in with yourself, assessing your needs, and adjusting your boundaries as those needs change. Like the Stoics, who continually practice self-reflection and adjustment in their pursuit of virtue, we too can use boundary setting as a tool to better understand and care for ourselves while fostering healthier, more respectful relationships. So next time you feel guilty about setting a boundary, remember, you're not only protecting your resources, but also teaching others how to engage with you in a respectful and mindful manner. And that's a win for everyone involved. Let's talk about the backbone of Stoicism and how it applies to our lives today, especially when it comes to being kind without being taken advantage of. Inner strength and resilience aren't just about enduring hardship. They're about thriving amidst challenges while maintaining our composure and kindness. This kind of strength is exactly what the Stoics aim to cultivate, and it's incredibly relevant in our interactions with others. Think about the times you face challenges or when people have pushed your boundaries. It's easy to react impulsively or give in just to avoid conflict. But what if you could respond with calmness and clarity, standing firm in your values while still being compassionate? That's where Stoic resilience comes into play. It's about being so internally strong that external circumstances don't shake your core. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said that it's not what happens to us but how we react to it that matters. Applying this to our lives today, when someone takes your kindness for granted, your reaction, based on inner strength and resilience, determines whether you'll end up feeling victimized or empowered. Cultivating this strength means actively deciding not to let external actions diminish your peace of mind. Building this kind of resilience starts with self-awareness. You need to know what triggers your negative reactions and understand why they happen. This could mean recognizing when you're giving too much to others at your own expense, or noticing when you're about to compromise your boundaries out of a need to be liked or approved of. Once you're aware of these triggers, you can start to work on responding differently. Practicing mindfulness is a fantastic way to strengthen this aspect of yourself. It helps you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings in the moment, allowing you to choose responses that align with your values, rather than reacting out of emotion. Mindfulness can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths before responding to a request, or as involved as a daily meditation practice. The key is to create a space between what happens to you and your response, giving you the power to choose a reaction that reflects your inner strength. Another Stoic strategy is to regularly remind yourself of your core values. What are the principles that you want to guide your life? Is it integrity, generosity, respect? By keeping these values at the forefront of your mind, you can align your actions with them, which reinforces your resilience.